Hello viewers, welcome you all to today's video, benefits of cloud computing. So we have already made a video on this, but due to some of the technical glitches in the video, we have decided to remake this video. So now we have made a better and digital version of this video. Let's go ahead and look into the benefits of cloud computing. Before we start with the benefits of cloud computing, I would like to set few context about the needs of cloud computing. So as you might have heard about cloud computing, that's one of the booming technology, and it's already being used in various areas. But so what is the drive for this cloud computing especially? So there was a term coined by Clive Humby in the year of 2006, that is, data is the new oil. If you look into this oil refineries, people who mine from this oil refineries, and those countries and those organizations used to be very rich. They earn more, and that's the case right now. I think after 15 years, what we are seeing here is the companies that actually hold the data, that process the data, and that reap the benefit out of the data is actually earning more than other organizations. So that's what it has been mentioned in the year of 2006. Data is the new oil. So how it is happening? So if you take the current situation, technology is already handed over to almost to everyone, and everyone has the latest technology in their hands. If you take an decade back, you might need to go far even to make a phone call, but now along with the phone call you can even make video call, everything just in your hand. So the technology is actually diffused to the even to the layman of the society. And in this era, there is so this actually normally increases the need for enormous data storage and processing in the social media side. So for example, if you consider Facebook or Instagram, every day they might be getting millions of photos. So there is a continuous need from their side. Constantly they have to keep improving their storage, and they have to keep increasing their storage. So there is a continuous drive behind this, and this is how organizations have started slowly moving towards the cloud computing. And increase in social medias increase the need for petabytes of data. So that's what I have mentioned right now. With a huge number of social media sites around, there is a need for petabytes of data to be stored and then to be transacted. So understand, so it all started from the data. Okay, no, right. So now if you look into the benefits of cloud computing, so let's go ahead. Cloud enables enormous infrastructure which can't be easily purchased by startup. A startup company can be a small company which is started with very limited infrastructure. They might be having a small building and then a small server setup with them. With that server setup, they might be able to serve only very limited number of users. But if they decide to go for cloud computing, they don't need to bother about the scale of size and scale of the infrastructure. Even they can, if they want, they can even rent a complete data center from cloud computing providers. Okay, so this is where actually startups have got an opportunity to grow into massive corporate organizations. So people who has started their companies with very good ideas and in a small level, they have managed to expand their business to a massive scale. Speeds up organization growth in global market, and it is elastic in nature. So what does that mean? Cloud computing actually helps you to scale up your business within few minutes. I mean, when I say business, okay, it is basically the computers. Assume you have 5 computers which might be serving 50 users, and you expect to serve another 100 more users from the next day. In a normal scenario, okay, in classic world, you may need to procure the hardware for the extra 100 users. Then you have to install the OS to them, and then you have to enable the virtualization. You have to install the servers in them. You have to install all the required softwares, and then in order to get it ready, it may need at least a week to even a month, or even beyond that. But when it comes to cloud computing actually helps you to increase your scale within few minutes. If you want to spin new VMs or new machines for your business, you can do that within just a matter of seconds. It will not take much time. Also, it enables both horizontal and vertical scaling. Horizontal scaling in the sense, the example which I have mentioned now, if you decide to go for more number of users, and if you decide to deploy more servers, that it is called as horizontal scaling. Whereas if you want to expand the capacity of your machine, so it's like adding more RAM memory into your single machine. So both horizontal and vertical scaling are available, and it can be achieved within few minutes, and that helps you to speed up your organization growth in the global market. No more space constraints. So if you take bigger corporate companies, they might be having uneven companies, okay, which runs for more number of years, or even some of the social media website which I have mentioned, like Instagram. Their main investment is the space. They provide you space, you give them data. So when you transfer a photo, you are giving them data, and they are giving you space. In this case, if you want to accommodate more clients in your business, you might be in need of a huge space, okay, or storage memory. And this is where cloud provides completely elastic infrastructure. So for example, the service S3, or simple storage service, which I have mentioned in my previous video, that's you don't need to bother about provisioning that service, or you don't need to bother about purchasing the memory or something. You can keep uploading your files as much as you want, and it is capable of holding that huge amount of data. You don't need to increase the hard disks, or you don't need to bother how many hard disks runs in the background. So no more space constraint. Then fail-proof solution. Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite point. Amazon Snowball. So Amazon Snowball is actually one of the I will provide the link about this, especially about the Snowball and Snowmobile, in the description box. I will provide the link for one of the Amazon's own video. Please don't miss that and watch that. So I will tell you one example. This Snowball is especially it comes like a hard case suitcase, and then it contains a computer inside that, which can hold as much as data. Okay, it is capable of holding huge amount of data within that. So when you request for a Snowball, Amazon will be sending the Snowball to your home or your organization. You can upload your files, and then you can send it back in the courier to Amazon. So once they receive that, they will actually take your data, and they will put your data into their servers. So in this way they actually enable moving the data from one place to other place, and it moves in the physical form, okay, as Snowball. So I'll tell you another example. Many movie makers go to foreign countries to shoot their movies. They actually shoot in 4K resolution or even 8K resolution. But if you know that if you shoot in a 8K resolution, it needs a huge amount of memory even to hold at least a minute or 2 minutes video. So assume if you plan to shoot a movie at foreign countries, and if you want to carry that much amount of storage device with you, that's almost impossible. And this is where many even Hollywood movie makers, they go for Amazon Snowball. So they shoot their movie in 4K or 8K, they upload all the files into Snowball, and then they send it to the destination point, and that's on the servers. And then later on, once they go to their place, they will just download this from the server. Okay, and then provides base infrastructure for emerging technologies like blockchain, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So if you consider all these digital technologies like blockchain, artificial intelligence and machine learning, they actually keep increasing their capability over the time, and by interaction with multiple users. So in that case, you can't go for a fixed infrastructure for this type of technologies. You need to have an infrastructure that's more elastic in nature, that is, which can grow along with the user's need, and which can shrink along with the user's need. So you need such an infrastructure to accommodate these technologies. So this is where actually cloud computing fits well, and it provides the base infrastructure for best base infrastructure for many emerging technologies like blockchain, artificial intelligence as well. Also even some of the architectures like microservices architectures best fit into the cloud computing model than the on-premises. Okay, so that's key point. And then continuing the benefits, it reduces infrastructure maintenance overhead, helping complete focus on the application development side. So assume you have a company and you have a task to build an application. So your primary focus will be on building that application with the all necessary functionalities. You don't focus much towards the server maintenance or server provisioning, network connectivity. So these are all actually not much required for you. But if you go for an on-premises infrastructure, with no other go, you must maintain all this extra works as well, like server maintenance, network connectivity, and then even the maintenance activities in case of any repair or any parts needs to be changed, that everything falls on your head. So that actually adds more overhead to the business, and that reduces the impact of focus towards the mainstream business. Now if you go for cloud computing gives you the infrastructure or platform, whatever you need, and you just need to focus only on the application development side, which will actually enable organizations to focus more towards the application development rather than the infrastructure maintenance. Then best for handling unpredictable traffics. So tell a good example. So assume you plan to book tickets for the World Cup finals. Okay, be it cricket World Cup or football World Cup, anything. But assume you plan to book tickets for football World Cup finals or cricket World Cup finals. By the time the bookings are open, there will be a huge surge in the traffic. Traffic spikes out to the maximum because like you, many people across the world might be hitting the servers to book their tickets. Now in this case, in a normal scenario, in an on-premises server, there is always a chance for the server to crash. That server could crash within a few seconds, and then that could impact the company's profit, because that's the key window where the company looks for a huge profit. When the server crashes on that crucial moment, that's obviously a loss for the organization. But and also you can't predict how much traffic might be hitting in that particular window, because you might be it could be even more than your twice the capacity or thrice the capacity, or it can even be 10 times of your capacity. You can't predict that traffic. Okay, so again, this is where cloud computing gives a best fit. So there is a concept called serverless architecture. Soon we will learn that as well in our upcoming video. So this serverless architecture, you don't need to bother anything, whereas this cloud providers takes care of this provisioning, everything for you, and you don't need to bother about this spike in the traffic. Again, on the same note, even if you go for the server based architecture also, they have as I have mentioned, they are actually elastic in nature, and they have the scaling policies which can help you to predict the spike upfront, and then it can scale out your infrastructure based on the needs. Okay, so this is best for handling unpredictable traffic, whereas in case of on-premises infrastructure, there is always a chance of server crash in case of spike in traffic. Then cost saving. See, many people used to highlight this as the main benefit, but I just push it to the bottom because I see more benefits than this. Cost saving. In a normal scenario, when you go for on-premises infrastructure, you buy the infrastructure, and part of that might be unutilized, or part of that might be overutilized. So in that case, what happens is you pay the cost even for underutilized resources, as well as you pay the same cost for the overutilized resources, which might be creating some imbalance. Whereas when it comes to cloud computing, you mainly pay for what you use. So for example, I have mentioned in the previous video about this S3 Glacier, where you just pay only for the amount of memory that you store. So for example, if you buy an 1 TB hard disk, and if you store just 200 gigs of data in that, remaining 800 gigs are actually waste. The 800 gigs remain idle in your hard disk, whereas but you might be paying for the entire 1 TB. Whereas if you go for cloud computing, you might be paying only for the 200 gigs, and you will not be paying for the entire 1 TB. Okay, so that's the pay per usage. And then greater liberty to choose services that users want. Now all these cloud providers, okay, be it Amazon Web Services or Azure, they are actually providing a huge amount of software solutions from their own library. So even if you want to go for machine learning or artificial intelligence, or even this skill building, the Alexa skill building, etc., they actually provide more templates, and they provide more solutions, pre-built solutions. Instead of going for an on-premises and to build everything from the scratch, they provide you, be it infrastructure or platform, they provide you everything upfront. Okay, and you can just choose some services from their catalog based on your needs. So these are some of the key benefits of cloud computing. Maybe once you start learning cloud computing, you will get to know even more benefits beyond this. Okay, so I think I have almost covered most of the points. In case if you know any other benefits, you feel free to drop them in the comment section. So thanks for watching and staying with me for quite long video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel PRAKAVIDS, and keep encouraging us. Thank you so much.